Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to our channel, Going Vocal. Today we will be discussing the heinous crime of Sonam Raghuvanshi against her husband, Raja Raghuvanshi. We'll be looking at this malaise that seems to be affecting Indian society for quite some time now, I'd say, at least for the past half a decade or more. We have been witnessing a lot of women murdering their husbands, and in fact, a lot of so called crimes of passion, many of them not just being crimes of passion, some of them being cleverly deployed and cleverly planned. So, yes, today we'll just discuss this malaise and try to find a solution if we can to this problem. So, on the panel, I have Shaji, Suresh, Hemant, and Anupam, whom many of you are well aware of, who have been with me on this channel for quite some time. So, yes, we'll start off with Anupam. Anupam, what do you think are the reasons, or why do you think such a uh, problem, such as the issue behind Sonam murdering her newly wed husband, occurs in this society? These kind of situations.
Thank you, Rahul, for the question. Hello, everyone in the panel. Rahul, you see, I think these days there's a there's a we see a lot of crimes being happening amongst the young couples. I think the reason for that is people are not upfront. For me, the first major point over here is the communication part. Maybe she was in love with the other person, which in the news is circulating about the person named Raj Kushwaha. She was already having an affair with that person. But the problem was nobody was aware of their relationship. So I think the first thing she could have done is could have talked to their parents, both of them, and should have told them this is what we are. We are in a relationship and we know each other and we want to get married, rather than going the other way around and killing the innocent person. And I think this is a major problem where people are not being upfront with each other, and this is where we teach our children as well that we have to be communicative. Let not any thought which is kind of concerning you should be with you only. You should discuss with your parents or maybe anybody nearby you. And this is a very heinous crime, and we appeal to the government of India. And I think from we people who and anyone who have heard this news is quite shocking for everyone because these kind of crimes are happening on a daily basis in India now. But this is a kind of news which is circulating a lot, maybe because of the digital media these days. But the crime is happening every now and then. So the first part is the communication part where people are not communicating. The other thing is, I think people do not have patience these days because previously we have seen that people used to give time to their relationship. So what if they had a relationship previously, but she could have tried with a good with the she could have tried with a new person to which she was married, because anyway the parents will think of their daughters to be in good hands after marriage. So I think patience also plays a key role where people are losing patience, not giving time to their relationships, and because of this also being impatient and saying that no, things will not work out for us. I want what I wanted. So I think this is also one of the reasons. And then we have seen that women these days are, women are also earning these days. They have their own thought processes. Previously, only men used to work, and then he was the dominating partner in the relationship. But nowadays, because of the gender equality and that we have seen through digital media that has come up, everyone is have their own views. It's democracy, and everyone can put their points forward. And because of this, also, I think they are not thinking about their actions, not talking to anyone, and thinking that what I'm doing is right for me. She should have thought it through, because even if she would have killed him, I think their plan was to go in other countries like Nepal or Bangladesh. I think with the strong policing that we have in India and good relationships with other countries also, even they would have fled to other countries, they would easily would have been caught up. So I think the awareness amongst the people saying that we will do any crime and we can get away with it, and that is what we have been talking about, that the crime never pays, and people don't understand these things. So patience, and then what is required is people need to be aware that you have to be very punctual, you have to be very patient, and also you have to be communicative to each other in a relationship. So this is what I feel, Rahul.
I really loved your ideas around communication. I think, personally, I feel that communication is something that needs to be more dwelt into, especially in terms of our society where I feel we have a lot of problems surrounding communication, where there is a room for a lot of improvement in communicating in our society, especially. I enjoyed the fact that you looked at the changes that are affecting, uh, the changes in society that are affecting the minds of the individual. You briefly touched on that, which was very interesting. Also, I'd like to ask Hemant though a more deeper. We need a more deeper analysis of society and its changes. What do you think in terms of from tradition to this digital age, this kind of changing scenario? How do you think it is affecting the individual? Both the individual male as well as the individual female, and specifically the individual female, as a lot of these recent crimes that have been happening for, like we said, for more than for about half a decade or so, or a little bit more than that, perhaps, with the case of Jolly, where she murdered more than most of her extended family members to be with her lover, and to ensure that society also didn't know that she had a lover, but at the same time to have the option of her being with her lover without anybody complaining or anybody finding out. So I'd like to understand this change, this particular change from a traditional age where we didn't see such crimes to an age of a digital age, or where we saw much less of such crimes, to a digital age where we're hearing such crimes almost every other month occurring. What is the influence or the impact, and how has it impacted the individuals, as well as what are the changes that you think have brought about the impact on the individual, that is the social change on the individual? I'd love to hear your thoughts here.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Rahul, and welcome to all the panelists. Yes, definitely, digital age has reduced the attention span of individuals. So they are more distracted. So because of that, there is a lack of clarity in thinking, and also a lot of films depicting violence that could also be like previously before the digital age. Violence used to be depicted only in movies, but now, and for that you need to you have to either go to a theater to get a ticket and watch, or maybe in the TV. But now it's not like that. You can view cinemas through your TV, through your mobile. So digital technology, though it has its pluses, too much exposure to it has affected the psychological aspect of individuals, both males and females. So less of patience. People don't have the patience. This case of Sonam, she could have actually two things. One is she lacked clarity. So she didn't know. She was confused. So hence what she did was she went ahead with her parents, probably with her parents' pressure. She went and married this particular person. At the same time, she wanted to continue the other relationship. So she was confused, and finally she opted to continue a relationship with a lover. So what has happened? What happened is suppression of feelings. Probably that is the reason why she didn't communicate. So, in short, the digital era has had a very serious negative impact on individuals in terms of reduced attention span, lack of clarity, and also communication, that openness in communication. The people have become
Right.
suppressed. because probably because too much of watching or too much of exposure to the digital world, they are losing the social connection. They are not connecting with
Right.
people. So that could be the reason why they are not able to openly communicate. So these are some of
Right.
the things I
So you feel basically
observe.
that,
And
the traditional method of social connection that was there is no longer there today. And it's a
true,
digital age where people just keep
true.
browsing. And so because of that
Yes,
traditional change in technology itself, or in the way that people meet with each other, speak to each
yes,
other, is confusing to people, and they don't know how
correct,
deal with that. Do you think
true.
that there is anything also further than that that we can be discussing, perhaps, for instance, such as tradition value systems, where traditionally we had traditional values where, the girl was the honor of the family, and we sent her to another family, and being sending off her off well was something very highly honorable to this family. And when she went to the other family, she was a totally part of that family. This kind of a traditional kind of value system that we had with relation to our marriages. Um, the digital age has exposed some other possibilities to women, isn't it? It has exposed, or it has, rather than exposed, it has offered opportunities such as looking at the man as perhaps something that is continuously suppressed her, and looking at everything as only a patriarchal system, not as a family value system that has been built because of the nature of our history, but rather because of the man doing something, looking as the man as the oppressor, looking at the marriage that is coming as an oppressive thing, but at the same time trying to hold on to a traditional value system that is hold into her family. Do you think that there are any these kind of things, these kind of changes have affected her mind? If so, how do you think it has affected their mind, Suresh? How do you feel that such a thing would have?
Good evening, all of you. I agree with all the panelists have said. Coming to the traditional aspect, definitely in olden days, inside a family, the father, mother, and the children were sitting together and talking to each other, one another, about all the issues. They don't have the facility of television or computer, so the family bond was there. So in the case of marriage also, they can discuss, a girl can discuss with his parent, and she can express her concerns also. But in a hectic life nowadays, the father is hectic, mother, all the children, all are working or going outside. There is little time for them to sit together and for a social gathering. Even inside the home, the father had the dinner at one time, the children had dinner at another time, and the mother, after doing all the family chores, after cleaning the vessels, she eats in the at last. So they are not sitting together and discussing any problem. And coming to the school also, recently we have witnessed a media post in which a high school student threatening his principal or headmaster. Can we imagine such a situation some 30 years ago? Student threatening the headmaster. So uh, even not only the women, the children are also aggressive. The students are aggressive. My wife is a CBSE school teacher. She used to say that they cannot scold or look gaze at a student. Case will pounce on them. So they also remain silent. All the laws, all the rules are in favor of the students, adolescents, the girls, and many are misusing them. So the traditional values have lost to a great extent inside the home and also inside the classroom. And in our days, when we are traveling in a bus, when we see an old man standing, we will vacate the seat to the elder man. This cannot happen now. if you are traveling on a bus, you can see many elder people standing and younger ones sitting on the seats. So traditional wise, the erosion of values have happened inside the home, inside the school, and inside the society. And as you all said, the social media and the movies have a negative impact on the people for doing such crimes. And adding one more thing, the punishments are very low, little, or fragile in India. These are my opinions.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. I would like to ask Shadi also, basically, do you think from a communication perspective, do you think as a society we sometimes delve into deeper aspects of our psychology as a social psychology? Like many a time, apart from in Tier 1 cities or so in India, that is your bigger cities, your metropolitans and so on, in village areas, there can be a lot of issues that may surround um, caste-based thinking or thinking that is related to, okay, financial thinking, like, okay, my daughter can't marry down the financial ladder. That can lead to further complications such as violence, even violent complications, complete excommunication of the woman from her family members. Do you think that this kind of a culture that we have never communicated or discussed the issues surrounding this kind of a culture that exists, especially in Tier 2, Tier 3, or smaller cities in India and smaller villages, do you think that there is any way that communication around this kind of a topic or can help our society? And if so, how do you think it can? Do you think it will be detrimental? What are your opinions around such a thing? That is basically what I'm trying to say is, you see, we're going to now be discussing a division between the traditional methods of thought and what is being advanced by modern thoughts from what these girls are watching on television and what they see on their Bollywood movies and so on and so forth. So there is a disconnect in what they hear in their homes and what they're truly afraid of, what is frightening them inside their hearts and their thing. So I'd just like to know how you think that such a thing can be handled. Whether you think communication can really work at that level and how you feel it can be handled, or else what can be done about it. I'm sorry, Shaji, we can't hear you, unfortunately. I think you're something wrong with your mic.
Officer and dear panelists, I think what Suresh sir said is one of the points about the relation with the family relations of the children as well as their parents. It is true that now we are in a post-modern life and we have to go ahead with that life. It's not possible to go behind. So how we can correct it? This is the question to be considered. I think there are two types of children in our nation or in our society. One is going behind the educational, going behind the education, and the other is going away from the education. And I think middle class people are keen to make their children engineers, doctors, and IIT professionals. On the other hand, the people who are living in below level are not concerned about their children. In both the cases, the kids will cause damages to the society, because in first cases, if in middle class people and upper class people, the children are the parents giving more stress to the children from their 7th or 8th standard onwards. They are supposed to go to IIT trainings or MBBS or KEAM etc. KEAM examination or CLAT examination, and these examinations are the children are supposed to, the kids are supposed to go for these trainings. and they are not getting sufficient time or love in their from their family. The intention of the parents to make their children a doctor or an engineer or a professional. Definitely, children from children in teenagers will be against their parents, and they will definitely they will uh, nurture grudge against their parents due to this type of stresses, and it may be the reason for acting like that Sonam or that uh, these types the recent crimes by our adolescents or the teenagers. What Sir pointed out is correct. We have to uh, consider the family as a whole. We have to dine together in our home. Then only we can communicate with the children. We can communicate our wife and give the proper lessons to the children from their family itself. That the what Anupam said is there is no communication by that lady to her parents or family. That was the reason for this heinous crime. I think this is not a new trend. These crimes
But
are
I think
always
she
hidden.
might have been very frightened also, isn't it? From her heart, she may have felt a lot of fear of the repercussions of expressing this, not just from her father and her mother, but her wider society, her friends, the hatred that she might have faced if she was to express such an affection. As per much of us in Indian society, she would probably have faced a lot of hatred from her friends and her relations and things like that. Don't you think so? Maybe she was
Definitely,
afraid.
definitely the social media has an influence on our children, because if a 12-year-old boy and 12-year-old boy getting a mobile phone, definitely the entire world is with him. The network is with him, and he can handle the social media. He can collect money from various sources, and he can purchase so many things from anywhere in the world. So simply that mobile, that uh, that uh, that thing that in his hand is like a god. So he can demand anything to that uh, to the mobile, and it will be in his hand within a short span of time. If his father has money, or if his mother has money, he can avail anything. That is one of the difficult situation that we are facing nowadays, because we have to control our children, our kids, because they are not aware how to handle how to handle these communicative systems in a proper manner. So we have to teach them. We have to learn. Then only the misuse of these things will be curtailed. So the issue of crimes of passion, definitely it will come through this social media, because nowadays it is so easy to get information how to kill a man, how to collect poison from so and so areas, how to collect a weapon. These things are available in the social media. So it is simple, and it is simple to execute a murder. I think after the release of a famous Malayalam movie Drishyam, so many crimes happened in Kerala like Drishyam model, because the people, definitely the social media, the film industry, etc. Uh, will give a clue to the people who are waiting for a crime. So I think we have to give a proper education to our children, and then only we can reduce the rate of crimes. Mm. That is related to passion as well. So now we are in a dangerous era. Our children are in a dangerous era. Our parents are in a dangerous era because of the influence of these social media, and and the influence of these technology. Nowadays, I think these what is that computer AI, artificial intelligence videos, artificial intelligence, the influence of artificial intelligence and ChatGPT will definitely affect the society. So we must be more careful and we must be more vigilant about the family, about our family and our kids. Then only we can develop a good society in our nation. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, guys, it was very interesting, but I'll have a question to the open panel. Okay, that is why the disproportionate uh, increase in female-related crimes against husbands. Why are they there is why is there this disproportionate increase where from about 10 years ago, I think there was far less cases being reported in the media, whereas today there is a large number of cases where women are participating in such crimes. Why do you guys think that specifically women have become so involved in planning and executing heinous murders, which they previously were not? Because recently I heard of a woman, I think about 4 years or 5 years ago, who took her baby, was 6 month or 7 month baby, and threw him against her or the rocks or by the beach, and killing the infant in order to be with her lover. So this is an totally unnatural crime coming from a woman, especially from women of the past. Like, we've never heard of women of the past ever considering such an option. Their motherly affections and their core motherly instincts were so strong that they defended their children far more than even the fathers could. So today, she's willing to toss such an infant who's only 7 months old against the rocks in order to be with her lover. So you can see so many crimes occurring in this with this kind of something that is unnatural, an unnatural kind of rise in such crimes. Why do you think that this is happening with regards to women?
So I'd like to share 2 points over here. The first is Rahul, as we already said, now we are moving on an age where women have all the freedom. They have their own sources of income, and then previously they did not used to go out and talk to people. They did not have their social circle amongst the people like men used to have. So now they have their own circle. They can talk to people. They can find ways to commit the crimes, and they can also think that they can do away with it by with the use of corruption. They can also get away with it. So I think these kind of things, their exposures to these things which were only
Yeah,
only
sorry. Do you
restrict.
think that if
Yeah.
she has that level of communication with friends, that and people and talking to people, that she would be able to commit such a crime? Or do you feel that maybe if she is restricted while she watches others communicating, that there is some kind of a confusion that is built? Because crime is not something natural to the human instinct. Okay. It is something that is brought about by unnatural forces within the human being. I feel that the human being is, by his natural tendency, built to take care of his family, built to take care of his children or her children. When we go into murderous crime, there is something happening inside the minds of the individuals that is not natural. That is not a natural process. So, do you think that we can lay it down on communication or something of that sort as being being capable of communicating with others as being the reason that she commits such a crime? Or do you think that there is something else that is pulling her, a kind of confusion that is dragging her?
On a deeper note, we can say that the patience with people around are losing these days. Even with the women as well, they are not ready to take the responsibilities. They know that it's difficult to take care of the families and all those things. So all these things give stress, and I think the main major reason for any crime is stress. They want to do away with those stresses, and they want to have what they want. So I think deeper values. Then we also discuss about the customs and all those things, which is really eroding years by years. days by days. And then when these kind of things are coming up in the digital media, people are just thinking about that. Then there are many social influencers that we see these days in YouTube, that you have to be passionate about what you want. So people might take those things into a negative shade as well, and then they do not shy away from taking the steps of doing some heinous crimes like this that we are seeing these days. I think the deeper analysis will have to be done, and then the major part is the communication part. Everyone, we have to be communicative with our children at every stage of their life, be it in children, then teenagers. We cannot just give the responsibility, complete responsibility on their shoulders. We have to talk to them unless they are adult to take the right decisions. Even if they are adults, also we have seen that these kind of crimes are also done by good young mature ladies of 30 35 years of age. So that has to be inbuilt. Our old custom traditions has to be inbuilt. That is why we tell people that in movies also we want those kind of movies which help us to show our culture, old customs, where we have come from. So I think these kind of things will have to be brought up to
Very good.
avoid
Okay.
such
You
crimes.
see, so I'll have a last question to the panel. That is basically, we are out of time, so we'll have to finish that quickly. I get to hear a lot of, people saying it's the patriarchy, it is the men, it is the patriarchal society that is creating such women. I don't know what you think about it. I would like to hear what your opinions are, and then I'll dwell on my own opinions regarding to this. Yes, Suresh.
Uh, I think we missed one important aspect or one important factor connected to this incident, the monetary factor. Because
Right.
in the commercial world, even women are want of money. So if you want to possess a good mobile phone, if you look at the many extramarital relationships, we can see that the lover giving a modern AI phone or modern iPhone to the spouse or the lady. So women want more glamour, fame. They want to act in movies or tele-serials. They want to come into what you call mainstream attention. Even in a wedding reception, you can see dances, reels, something. So an average middle class women are also fascinated by the world of glamour, money, and fame. So naturally, they fell in love with another extramarital outside her husband. She want to. It is also